Today we're going to talk about how to train apnea outside of the water. There are a couple of ways that are very effective to train apnea outside of the water. The first is by doing static apnea, dry static apnea outside of the water. So maybe you can do that on your bed, on the sofa at your home, or by doing apnea walks. So by walking while holding your breath, which is very effective and very hard. So if you can actually go into the water by accessing the ocean or into a pool, the only way is to actually hold your breath dry, static apnea on your bed, or by doing apnea walks in your city, or if you're living in the mountains, it's even better because there is high altitude atmospheric pressure, which makes it even more harder to train in this way. So there are so many ways to do it, and you can still train apnea, but without going into the water. Dry statics apnea, so when you are lying on your bed holding your breath, is very effective. It's super good for trainings because you don't have a diving reflex because you're not in the water. So holding your breath will be way harder than in the water, but it's extremely good as trainings because if you get used to train to hold your breath outside of the water where there is no diving reflex, so you get used to hold your breath, on your bed in air, without entering the water. Then at some point, when the moment you're gonna get back into the pool and into the water, it's gonna be extremely easier to hold your breath, and your apnea capacities times will be much bigger. That happened to me during the 2020 lockdown, because of COVID lockdown, where we couldn't actually go into the pool because they were closed, and I did 3 months of dry static apnea on my bed at home. I was training 3 times a week static apnea, lying on my bed. I did personal best in dry statics, holding my breath for 7:30 minutes. It was crazy. I was so happy. It was extremely hard because in dry statics contractions come way earlier because there is no diving reflex. But for that reason, it's good. It's a good training because once you get back into the water, things will be extremely easier because you are used to a way harder training condition. In fact, when I get back into the water, I could do more than 8 minutes. And I did my personal best in the water. It's crazy, just because I trained in harder conditions. I trained dry. Contractions in dry statics, so at home will be stronger, will come earlier. But once you get used to that, you're already improving apnea capacity. Once you will get back into the water, it will be heaven. You will feel contractions coming way later, way softer. You will be capable to hold your breath for much longer. During lockdown, 2020 lockdown for COVID, I did also other kind of trainings. Not only dry statics apnea on my bed, but also apnea walks. Basically, I was just wearing my nose clip and walking along the streets, close to my house, around my house, holding my breath for as long as possible. Or just doing by apnea runnings, just by running in the street for short distances, for as fast as I could by holding my breath. Doing so many repetitions and training in this way for 30-40 minutes per day, that was extremely hard because also in apnea walks you're in air, you're not in the water, no diving reflex. So it's extremely natural to breathe, but you cannot breathe. Contractions will come so earlier and will be so stronger and painful that that will make an extremely hard training, but extremely effective, especially once we get back into the water. Because after 3 months of dry training, once you get back into the water, you will feel so good. It will be so natural and easy to hold your breath because diving reflex will be finally activated as it should. So, in apnea walks, if you don't wanna, when I was completely tired of holding my breath static, laying on my bed, I went out. I was going out of my home and started to walk in the street by wearing my nose clip and holding my breath all around. Doing that for 34 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, almost 1 hour. I was exhausting, but I was feeling it was extremely effective. There are so many ways and tables you can do by doing apnea walks or dry breath holds on your bed. That makes it one of the most efficient ways I found through the years for training and improving your apnea capacities. That's great. Try it by yourself.